Hi Deepanauts, and welcome to this Friday's video, which is all about the blacklist functionality of your device. Now, I was going to make a really huge video about the legal implications of being a node for deeper networks and probably Mysterium as well, but it would have been hours and hours. But I'll go through a little bit right at the end as part of the final thoughts. So why would you use a blacklist? Well, a blacklist will allow you to block websites which you don't want people on your home network to use, or on the deeper network which other people can use through your node. So I'm thinking people may use your node to watch the BBC. If you're in the UK, they might want BBC iPlayer because they live in France and they can't get it. That's brilliant, okay? However, there are people out there who will use DVPNs and VPNs for illegitimate stuff. So downloading materials which they shouldn't have, going on websites that may be banned by law, thinking like China and stuff. It's pretty nuts over there. Yeah, so people going on like the dark web, downloading stuff they shouldn't, criminal stuff like that. Whenever Deeper does like an advertisement, you'll see it on Facebook, you'll always get people who go, I wouldn't let anybody use my internet connection. I'll get a knock from the police, I'll do this, I'll do that, and I'll go to prison and stuff. And it's like, you really won't. They create this whole fantasy story of what would happen if they had one of these. It's crazy, and it just shows how under the thumb a lot of people are in regards to government and law and stuff. They just blindly accept it and go, oh, you're telling me I can't do it, okay, I won't do it. It's ridiculous. However, using a blacklist, there are some websites that you will want to block, and we're going to go through that now. Alright, so first things first is the onion router, which is also known as the dark web. There's a lot of really shady stuff on the dark web. However, in essence, personally I think it's a good thing that it exists. It gave people the anonymity to kind of get away from government censors and gave them a private place where they could talk, because there's a lot of websites on the dark web which are actually legal, but because they're anonymous, people feel that they can actually talk there instead of being monitored or reported. The other thing are porn sites and firearms. So in the US, firearms, you can actually download plans under constitutional rights, and you can 3D print parts at home. Now in the UK, that would be completely illegal, and you'll get 5 years instantly if you got caught doing that. Your ISP would probably report you, probably. Now, obviously, you can ban that. You can block these websites. Defcard.org is one, and there's a bunch of other ones. However, it would probably pay to ban those, especially if you're in the UK where they have crazy firearms laws, because the people in control want to stay in control. So the last thing they want is people having means to get rid of them. And the last thing is political ideologies. So does your broadband connection not mirror your views? Do you want people to know the political leanings of your broadband connection? I'm being sarcastic, but I think some people might. So let's just say you're really fed up and annoyed about the whole Russia-Ukraine thing, and you think that Russia shouldn't have gone into Ukraine. Well, if you wanted to, you could block the whole of Russia from using your node. Or from anybody accessing Russian websites through your node or through your home internet. It's a little bit weird, but if that's what you want to do, it's your node, it's fine. Likewise, if you're unhappy with Ukraine, you want to block all of Ukraine stuff, then you can just do that too. Personally, I think if you do stuff like that, if you block things that you personally don't like, that's a bit weird. But again, the whole Web3 infrastructure, it's all about your choice. So if you don't want that on your nodes, then fine, whatevs. That's the beauty about a Web3 infrastructure which is coming. There are loads of other things that you might want to block, based on what you like or don't like. Maybe you want to block all websites related to drugs. Maybe you're a devout religious kind of person and you don't want any other religion stuff like Scientology or stuff on your home network or being able to be used through your node. That's fine. Alright, so how do you actually use the blacklist thing on here? Well, you go into security and it's in customized DNS rules. So we're on the dashboard there, and they've changed the sidebar in this latest update. So you might not know where it was. It was actually called Blacklist before. So let's just go on to tiktok.com. That was blocked before, and you can see there it says I can't open the page. It's been rejected, and that's because it's in my blacklist. So that is successful. But let's look at the one that we mentioned before, defcad.org. Now, going on this website in the UK isn't illegal in the UK. Downloading the files, grey area, or whatever. But you can see there, I've added it to the blacklist, and it's come up. So it hasn't worked, and the reason for that is it's certificate and cookie based. So you need to have a private browser, and then you can go on to defcad, and then that gives you fresh cookies and cache, and then it'll say it's blocked. Now, it will end up being blocked on your normal internet. It's purely because the certificate from before has been saved. So give it a few hours for the current certificate or cache on the current devices on your network to expire, and then when you access the website, it'll not be able to issue a new one. And here we are with wildcards. Now, wildcards was introduced so you could basically block a massive range of websites, but only with one line. So you can see here I've put .onion, so I've basically blacklisted every dark website just by that one line. I've also done .org and .com just to show you how it works. So on this, all .com websites are going to be banned. Okay, it's not really a practical thing. So you can see there it hasn't worked because I need to get a new fresh incognito browser. So there's a new one, and do it again. I'll do something else. So cheese.com. It ends in .com, so it's banned, and that is a wildcard. So you just put in the actual domain that you want to block. And fast.com, which is what I use for speed tests, that's also blocked because it's .com. And yeah, so you can see there how you can block pretty much everything. So we'll get rid of those because I don't want to really block anything. Okay, except for TikTok. I don't want that on my network. And that's really cool. Okay, so now that we've removed those, we go to cheese.com. It works because we've unblocked .com, so we can go into any .com we want. So that's the beauty of the whole wildcard thing, and that was a recent addition to the firmware. It just makes things loads easier, especially in regards to the dark web thing. So now let's say we want to block a massive range of things on a pre-made list, and there is a pre-made list which you can actually download, and the link will be in the description below. So here's the list, and if you scroll all the way at the top, you'll see the file. So by Hollaby, update deep network full list, and you can download it. So download the file, and then when you come back over to your blacklist thing, you click to upload, go at the file. Alright. Yeah, there. Okay, and you can see there, blacklist full. Click upload, and it will automatically add all of those websites to your blacklist. And these are websites like for US intelligence, spam websites, some Russian ones, ad websites. So you can see, you can basically just do the whole lot. So the link for that blacklist will be in the description below. You will notice that it doesn't wildcard the dark websites. So what you can do is just delete one of the .onion sites, and then just put .onion on the blacklist, and that will blacklist all .onion dark websites. Alright, so now let's get on with the final thoughts and wrap all this up. So the blacklist function will allow you to block websites on your home network. So if you don't want your kids to access a specific website, you can put it on there. And it also blocks people from outside from using your node to access those sites. In regards to the legal implications of this, so I have 32 devices, okay, dotted all over the northeast, and nobody has had a letter from a copyright holder or a visit from the police, or a letter from the police, or a government thing. We've had nothing at all. And the whole thing about you can get into trouble in the UK, no, I don't think that's the case. I mean, not legal advice, however, it's pretty safe. I've been using these devices now for about 18 months or something, or 2 years, and I've never had an issue. The problem arises when, for example, in the UK, it's not illegal to share your broadband. And if somebody goes onto your node and does something illegal, as long as you don't know about it and allowed them to do it with that specific purpose, you're not guilty of an offence. But they're clever. People will go and say, you access this, and you go, no, this guy did, and then you'll trip yourself up and you'll admit that you allowed them to do it, even though you didn't. You know, and that is where people get into legal bother. But I've heard, I think 2 or 3 people have been on Discord and said, I got a letter from a copyright holder, and they were pretty mad. And that's it. I mean, they can't do anything to you. They can't prove it was you specifically, so who are they going to punish? You having a broadband connection under your name, and somebody uses it to download a film, right, well that's not enough to sue you, personally, because they can't prove that you actually did it. But even so, you can also turn off torrents as well, because a lot of people obviously download movies through torrents. Just turn that off. If it really bothers you, just go into your settings and just toggle that to off, and then they can't use Real Debrid, they can't use uTorrent. So from a copyright perspective, companies won't come after you, which they wouldn't do anyway. But not legal advice. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks guys, bye bye.